Hi, I'm Jo from J.H.Leather, and in this podcast, we are talking about my one-to-one workshops, my 3-in-1 make-along video, and what's coming up in the Leathercraft 101 mini-series for Video 2. Now, I know I say this every month, but it has been a very busy month, and it kicked off the start of our one-to-one workshops. So they start in April and they run through to the end of October. So this month we've had 3 so far, which is really good, really nice start to the one-to-ones. And we've done a variety of things actually. So the first one-to-one was right at the very beginning of April. A lovely lady named Helen came for 2 days, and she had done some crafting before. She's self-taught through videos on YouTube, and she wanted to learn how to do more new stuff. So her background was doing rug repairs for horses, and on the back of that she then started to do some sort of tack repairs, and that's where her leather sort of journey started. And then she came to me to learn how to do more new stuff and start adding some more strings to her leathercraft bow. And so Helen came for 2 days and we did a few different things. So we started off looking at tools and how to sort of maintain them and how to get them nice and sharp, because that is, although you can learn a lot from a video, it's one of those things, if you can have some help in person, it always helps. And so we gave Helen a bit of help there, and she started out the sessions with some nice sharp tools, which is always a good starting point. So once we got the tools sharpened, we then went on and started to look at some new bits and pieces that she wanted to learn how to make. So we started out with a headpiece for a bridle. Now, although they look quite simple to do, there is actually quite a lot going on with them, in that you cut them one side and then you actually cut them down to get the splits, one for the cheek piece, which is a different size to the throat lash, which goes behind. So we did all that, and you also have a little buckle turn, and you have to negotiate your way around putting a loop in on a 1/2-inch strap, which isn't the easiest to start doing. 1/2-inch straps are very small, and it can be quite fiddly as well. So we started out doing that, and we also made running loops for that as well and got the headpiece finished. And then we finished that and we went on to do a cheek piece as well, focusing mostly on the billet hook and the billet platform that make up the cheek pieces. And so these are quite fiddly to do. You've got a very short piece of leather in there in between the layers, as well as 2 fixed loops and the billet hook, which just loves to be difficult. So the platforms is not as bad on a 5/8 strap, luckily, which is what we were doing. But yeah, they do have a tendency to try and pop out the clamps, just because it's not flat, and it's just a bit, has a mind of its own. So yeah, and Helen got on really well, and we had a lovely few days together. And then the second person in for their one-to-one workshop was a man called Marcus. Now, he has actually booked in for 3 days, but he's chosen to split his days up so that he could practice little bits and pieces in between and get himself ready for doing the next couple of days. So he was a complete beginner. So we started out in the morning doing a coaster project, which is what I really enjoy starting people out on, because you've got pretty much all the skills there, bar skiving. You've got all the skills there that you're going to need pretty much throughout most of your leather crafting projects. And there is a good deal of stitching on it. And I do make people hand stitch with an awl for this bit, especially because Marcus wanted to go on and make a lead. With the leads, because we're using thick bridal leather, you sort of have to use an awl for that. So when we're starting out with the coasters, it is a very, like I say, it's a very nice project to start on, because you've not got that thicker leather that you're going through. So you can really get used to using the awls, which is ideal. So we started out doing that. And then after lunch, we started on some dog leads. So we got one more skill in that with the skiving, which Marcus picked up quite well, which was nice. And so we then did our plain dog leads. Now, Marcus is quite a handy man, and he is actually looking at making his own ornaments to go on sort of dog collars and other leather items that he wants to make in the future. So when he comes back, hopefully later on in the year, he is going to hopefully have had time to create some little metal fittings that he wants to put on to decorate his collars, which is is why we've split his days up. So he's got time to go and make the little metal bits that he wants to put on his collars. And then the final one-to-one workshop was with the lovely Sam. And he, again, is a new crafter. So once again, we started out doing our coaster projects, which he got on really well with. And then in the afternoon, we moved on to do a dog lead for his little dog called Rune, who from the pictures looks absolutely adorable. And he completed that really well. And then we went on, because we still had time after that, to do a lovely little 2-piece card holder, which also looked really good. So yes, all in all, a very good start to our one-to-one workshops for the year, and I am looking forward to the ones that are coming up later on in the year. Helen has already booked in for her second one, which is very exciting. So that is coming up in the next couple of weeks, which I am looking forward to. And if you are interested in booking yourself on a one-to-one workshop with me, you can do, and you can get in contact through our website or on email info@jhleather.co.uk, because spaces are limited, and so I'm not going to be booking any more for May, because the rest of May is incredibly busy for me. So we're looking to booking into June at the moment and the beginning of July. So if you are interested, please do get in touch, because I would love to meet you and have you in the workshop crafting with me. And so moving on to the videos, I did release 2 this month. The first one being the trifold wallet make-along video. Now, I thought this was a really nice little project to do, but unfortunately, for whatever reason, it hasn't got the views that I was hoping. I'm not totally sure what that's down to, whether people just didn't want to make a trifold wallet at the moment, or whether YouTube just didn't pick it up to send it out to people. I don't know. And with YouTube analytics, it is quite hard to tell why things haven't been picked up. So yeah, so it's a bit of a shame, because like I said, I was really quite excited for that, because it is a really fun project to do, and it's actually a very nice wallet. So if you are interested in making yourself a trifold wallet, or for other people, then I will put a link in the description below so you can go and check that video out, because it is, like I said, it is a really nice project to do. And so I know I've said before that the analytics on YouTube sort of don't really make much sense, neither does their algorithm. So I'm not too sure why it didn't get picked up, if it was just because no one was sort of interested in it, or if sort of having some of like the podcasts that I released on the main channel affected it. So from now on, the podcasts are not going to be on the main channel, so they will all be on the J.H.Leather podcasts, as a way just to put them there. So for you hardcore fans, you know where to watch them and listen to, but it's not going to mess up any of the analytics on my sort of the main leatherworking channel, which is what I sort of think may have happened. I can't be sure on that, but that's sort of at the back of my mind. That's sort of, well, I guess what I'm hoping it is, I guess, so that maybe future videos don't do that, but we'll see. Yeah, so that was that one. And then I also released the first of my Leathercraft 101 videos, all about leather. Now that one has done very well, and I'm really pleased with the response that I've got from that and the feedback in the comments. And I hope if you have watched it, you enjoyed it and you found it informative. It's the first video like that on this channel. I haven't actually done a video about leather on my leather crafting channel, so it was nice to actually do that and get that one out to you all. And like I said, I hope you enjoyed watching it, if you did, or listening as it were. So doing that was really good, and I am looking forward to the next Leathercraft 101 video, which is going to be essential leather working tools. And the premise is sort of going in sort of at a low end, what you need, the very basic tools to get started, and then with the options of adding on or upgrading later on. So that is going to be the next one. That is going to be out in May, which I'm looking forward to creating for you all, because I love talking about tools and it's a whole video on it. So that will be really fun to do, and like I said, I'm looking forward to that. So I am in the planning process of that, trying to get all my ideas together and include all the tools that I think are the bare essentials. And then so we're going to do that as the first part, and then each tool as I go through, for example, the pricking irons, you can get an entry level one, and then if you want, I'm also going to have the option, if you are really keen, you could also opt for this one, which is a bit more expensive but is a bit more durable, for example, something along the lines of that. So we're going to have lots of different options at lots of different price points, so those of you looking to get into leathercraft will hopefully be able to find good tools that aren't going to break the bank but they're also good, because I see if you look on sites like Amazon, you do get like the leathercraft kits, which do contain some of the tools that you need, but they also contain a lot of tools that you don't really need, and they aren't the best quality. So the idea for this video is that it's going to be good tools, but also at a nice price point for sort of people getting into the craft and not wanting to spend too much money on it, just to see if they like it or not, sort of thing. So that is the plan for that one. And then yeah, hopefully build upon that with the next few videos after that as well. And that video was also sponsored, so I am looking at trying to get more sponsorships, just because it helps bring money in from the videos, because making the videos is incredibly labor intensive. So for example, making that Leathercraft 101 video, it took me a whole day pretty much to film it, a day to edit it, but also it took a day to actually get all the information that I wanted into a script that I felt was good and contained all the information that I wanted to get across to you all. So, you know, you're looking at 3 full days of work for one video, which, you know, may not bring that too much money in. So having sort of sponsors is something that I am looking to do, and I'm not going to like push it all in your face or anything like that, but it will be similar to what was in that video, which was the ExpressVPN integration. So it'll be like a minute or so within the video, and basically the way that one worked is I got a certain amount of money for it. Not a lot, it was $50 so it's not a lot, but it's something. And then if I get conversions through the links, then, you know, then they add up and help bring the sort of money from the integration up, as it were. So we're going to try a few. I haven't got any more offers, so it might just be this one, but it's good to test out. And like I said, hopefully it will help bring some more money into the channel, so I can put more time into the videos and make them as good as I can do for you all. And speaking of the sponsor, ExpressVPN, if you do need a VPN, then ExpressVPN is a good one, and there will be a link in the description where you can get your first 3 months for free, and you can do stuff like change your location. So if you're on holiday and you are watching certain series on Netflix, let's say, you can set your location to wherever you want, so you can continue watching and don't get interrupted by being in a place where maybe it is not available. But it also protects your information online by sending it all through encrypted in servers and all that sort of good stuff. I do use a VPN, and it is one of those things that I think nowadays, with everyone's information being online, it probably is a wise idea to have something like ExpressVPN running, and it will run across multiple devices as well. And so, as well as the Leathercraft 101 video 2 that will be produced this month, I'm also hopefully this week going to be filming the next make along video. Now this one is going to be a bit different in terms of my idea for this is basically 3 designs of one idea. I think that makes sense. It makes sense in my head. So basically, I'm going to be using 3 different designs to make the same item, as it were. So basically, I'm going to be making a little pouch for a deck of cards, because that's quite small, so it's quite easy to make multiple cases or pouches for this, using different techniques. So the techniques that we're going to be using, we're going to be doing one with a sort of like a box making style. So it's going to have the sort of stitching all the way around, doing the box work, which the tester one that I didn't stitch it, but the tester one came out really well. So that one I am looking forward to. We're also going to have a wet molded one. And now wet molding isn't something that I really done or experimented in before, but I went down a YouTube rabbit hole watching other crafters making wet molds with laser cutters, and so I thought, oh, actually I have a laser cutter, this could be a fun little project. And so I made a wet molded pouch, which came out really well actually. And I think if that goes down well and there's calls for it, I might do a specific wet molding video on how to make your own molds and stuff like that. But yes, this is going to be a wet molded one as well as the box work one. And then I've also come up with an idea where it's all made out of one piece of leather, and then it's cross stitched up the 2 sides. And the tester one did come out really well, so I'm hoping that the one that I'm going to film this week will come out well. I do need to change a few bits in it, but I think I got it working right. So yeah, so we're going to have a sort of 3-in-1 project. So I'm depending on sort of how the making goes. I'm not sure how involved each section will be because I don't want the video ending up being like 45 minutes long because no one's going to watch it. And so I might just break it down into sort of more bite-sized pieces and then just see how it looks basically when I get into the editing process. But my idea is to have it so we've got 3 little projects that we can make in one video. That's what I'm hoping anyway. So we'll see how it comes out. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that because like I said, I was doing my testing last week and they did come out quite well. And now I'm not the best person at doing box work. I haven't done it for an awful long time. I did it when I was still doing my training in Enfield many moons ago, and I only did it once. And so yeah, I'm pretty sure luckily I had the one that I made during that course in the workshop so I could look at it as I was trying to do this other one. So the other one I'm doing is slightly different because I don't want the box to go all the way up and I want basically the lid to slide on and it look not all like one piece, but so there's no sort of overlap. And so I don't know if that makes sense the way I'm talking through it, but it makes sense when you look at it. And so hopefully that'll come out well. So I want to make sure that it's sort of the sides are all reinforced because it's going to be 1 centimetre or 2, probably 2 centimetres, where there's not going to be any stitching because that's how I'm making it basically. So we're going to see how that turns out. And what we will do, I think what I'm going to do is go over the pros and cons maybe of each of the designs that I've come up with and some of the struggles that I had making them, just give you all an idea as to if you do want to go and do this yourself, sort of what issues or harder bits you may face. So I am really looking forward to that. So that is on the plan, or my schedule for the rest of this week, is to not edit it but to film it and get the 3 cases made so that when I get back, because I'm going down to see my mum this weekend, which I'm very much looking forward to, so when I get back from there I can then edit it all together and get it out to you the week after. So yes, that is the plan for that. And speaking of make-alongs, you may have seen on my community post on the main J.H.Leather YouTube page looking for potential ideas as to what to put into a make-along video. Now this is how my 3-in-1 idea came about, because I was a bit stumped as to what I could do in a make-along video. So I have got a nice fresh batch of ideas from you all, so thank you to everyone who made a suggestion. And if you do have more suggestions and you didn't comment on that, you can comment on this video podcast if you want, or you can head over to that post on the community tab on my main J.H.Leather YouTube channel and leave a idea there of what you would like to see make along wise on the main channel. Because the idea is, the videos that I make are for all of you guys, so if there is something that you want to see specifically, then if you could please let me know, I can see if I can add that to my ideas list and get cracking with the designing and planning for those videos. And so some non-leather working things that I'm looking forward to this month. The main one, oh no, not the main one, they're all quite big things to be fair. The first one, we'll go from the beginning, is heading back to Devon and to the motherland to see my mum and my brother, who I haven't actually seen properly in the flesh since November last year. It's pretty crazy how time flies, and the fact that we're already a quarter of the way through the year is pretty amazing. Where did that time go? So yes, I'm looking forward to that. I'm going down for this first bank holiday, and yeah, so it's going to be nice, lovely to spend time with them. We're hoping the weather's going to be nice, but if it's not, I'm going to take my raincoat so we can still go out. So that'll be nice. And it is bluebell season here in the UK. And bluebells, I think, are probably the favourite plant or favourite flower for a lot of us here in Britain, because it does really signal the start of spring and hopefully, fingers crossed, warmer times to come. And they are starting to come out. And so I'm hopefully meeting up with a photographer friend, and we're going to go out and take some photos of the doggies out in the bluebells, hopefully looking all majestic. But we don't know, we'll see on that. Skylar has a tendency to look really grumpy in photos. She knows that her photo is being taken, so she'll just sit there like a grumpy child. But we're going to try our best. So yes, we've got that to look forward to. And then hopefully as well, I'll be going up to Scotland with Tim. He's already been up 3 times this year to do work on our boat. So hopefully I will be able to join him this month and put in at least a little bit of help, because I haven't actually really done any help help on this boat at all. So yeah, hopefully we're getting up to do that, and we're going to hope, there's lots of hopefullys. We're hoping for some nice weather, because I think I'm going to be doing the anti-fouling, because I am qualified to do that, which is basically just sanding down the hull and then painting it with some new anti-foul, whilst Tim does all the electronics. So that is our plan for later on this month. And at the very end of the month, we have got a very exciting day, because we are going to go and see Elton John in concert in Manchester, which I am super excited about, because I have never been to a concert before. Can you believe that? Never been to a concert. So I'm starting out on a high, going to see Elton John. So it's actually a birthday present that I got for Tim a couple of years ago now. It got cancelled over COVID, and so we are very much looking forward to that out at the end of the month. And so that is about it. I think I've gone over all the points I have on my notepad here. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed listening, and I will catch you in the next podcast.